Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Legend has it we could be legends, etched in the stone, forever on thrones. Histories made in the moments. Heroes collide, it's all on the line with our backs against the wall. We came to fight. We came to take all things beyond. There's no place to hide.
The winner is Kansas State. K-State is offering the best quality of life in the country.
The student experience here at K-State is unmatched anywhere. And we're creating impact every single day.
Wildcat Nation, we the best!
It is amazing what you can accomplish when you do it out of a motive of love and joy and passion. From here on out, expect to win.
Good afternoon. Yeah, let's do that. I'm Dr. Bonnie Rush. I'm the Hodis Family Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem. Today's singing of the national anthem will be by Dr. Palak Shah from the class of 2024.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The hidden talents of veterinary students. Graduates, veterinary graduates. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Kansas State University in the 119th commencement for the College of Veterinary Medicine. Following today's ceremony, Kansas State University will have graduated 7,975 veterinarians since the first class graduated in 1907. Why don't we just take 1 minute and say, if you graduated between 1907 and 2023, please just stand up and show us where you are. Kansas State has a strong tradition of producing innovative veterinarians and leaders of our profession. The class of 2024 has already demonstrated their commitment to professional excellence. I cannot wait to see what their contributions will be in the future of the profession. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the spouses, children, parents, grandparents, and other relatives and friends of the class of 2024, present here and watching live. Without your support, these graduates would not have realized their dream to become veterinarians. At this time, I would like to introduce the platform party, starting on my right. John Rolfe, Chairman, Kansas Board of Regents. He could be at any Regents institution today. He got first pick. He chose Kansas State University today, to be here today. Dr. Callie Rost, Assistant Dean for Admissions, graduate from the class of 1995. Dr. Debbie Mercer, Interim Provost and Executive Vice President. Dr. Jim Roush, Associate Dean for Academic Programs and Student Success. Dr. Richard Linton, 15th President, Kansas State University. Dr. Hans Koetsia, University Distinguished Professor, Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs, and Department Head, Anatomy and Physiology. That might sound like 2 jobs, but I thought he was doing 3, so Dr. Elizabeth Davis, Associate Dean of Clinical Programs, Director of the Veterinary Health Center, Department Head and Professor, Clinical Sciences. She's a Gator, 96, I think. Derek Mosier, Department Head and Professor, Diagnostic Medicine and Pathobiology. He's a 1978 grad of Kansas State University. Dr. Tim Parks, Merck Animal Health, Alumni Board, past president. He's a 94 graduate of the class of Kansas State. Dr. Ben Schrader, class of '02, he's our commencement speaker, and Dr. Aaron Schrader, class of '04, commencement speakers. Our marshals today are Dr. Ken Harkin, Professor, Clinical Sciences. He's a cyclone, and that is how fast he thinks. ICU nurse, and Jeffrey Volts on this end, ICU nurse, Veterinary Health Center. Outstanding academic programs depend on talented, dedicated faculty and staff. At this time, will the faculty and staff members of the College of Veterinary Medicine please stand and be recognized for their dedication and commitment to these graduates. Regent John Rolfe could be anywhere today, but he chose to be here, and he served on the Kansas Board of Regents since 2019 and is president and CEO of Thrive Restaurant Group, which owns and operates over 150 restaurants. John graduated magna cum laude from Baylor University in 2001. After graduating, John worked with college student leaders as an intern for the National Student Leadership Forum in Washington, D.C. He returned to Kansas in 2002 to work in the family-owned business started by his father and his uncle, David and Daryl Rolfe. His current board memberships and affiliations include the vice chairman of the Greater Wichita Partnership, board of directors of Intrust Bank, chairman, Centralized Supply Chain Services, chairman of the Applebee's Franchise Business Council, Baylor Collaborative on Hunger and Poverty, and serves as chairman of the Kansas Board of Regents. John and his wife, Lauren, are both fifth-generation Kansans. They've been married for over 16 years. They have 6 children. He has to coach a soccer game later this evening, and his kids are aged 2 to 13. Please help me welcome John Rolfe.
Congratulations, graduates. I think I gave President Linton a little scare before we walked out here. I go, this is the service for everybody who's serving in the military, right? The vets? And he's like, oh my gosh. No, I love this. I've been looking forward to being here. You heard I have 6 kids. One of them, one of my daughters, dreams about being a vet someday, sitting right where you're sitting. And I think about the heart of someone that desires to get into the service that you all are. Nurturing, caring, super smart. Resilient. I'm just very proud of the work you're doing, of the work that you're going to do in this state and as you guys go out around the nation and world from here. It's my distinct honor as a member of the Board of Regents and as the chair to come today to extend our congratulations. It's a great reminder of why we dedicate the time we do to this. And it's also a great reminder to look around this room and to remember that none of us gets where we are alone. And to have the dedication of 8 years, maybe 7 to 9 years is what I should say, to get to this seat where you are There were people that stepped into your life and encouraged you to stick with it and to believe in yourself. And so I'm glad that they can share in this moment with you. And thank all of you for helping these folks believe, and they're going to need it as they go from here. So please stay in their lives, stay encouraging, and I hope you guys can encourage each other. I also just think about the moments that vets have stepped in my life, some of the saddest, most heartbreaking moments for me. There's been veterinarians who have been there to not only tell me the truth of what's going on, but to give me grace and comfort in times when I most need it. And some of you looked at my sister's horse not very long ago and helped her along her journey. But I just want to wish you guys the best. And it's our wish from the Kansas Board of Regents that not only do you come through our institutions and come through K-State with learning and education that can go out and advance your life and advance the world, but also hearts that can bring joy and light and grace everywhere you go. So we wish you the best in your journey ahead and congratulate you on this momentous day.
Thank you, John. I want to take you back about 25 years ago, thinking about the fall of 1999, and we were doing out-of-state admissions interviews for the class of 2004. And one of the candidates was a student athlete at Syracuse, played center forward for the Syracuse basketball team. And when she interviewed, she just beautiful and charismatic, and there were at least 5 other out-of-state male candidates that day that made a decision to come to Kansas State University because they believed one day they would marry Aaron Pratt. What they didn't know is Ben Schrader was already in the class of 2002, so it didn't work out for those guys, except they got to have a Kansas State University diploma. But we wanted to use Aaron every year as a recruiting tool to bring out-of-state students to this institution. So straight off their 5th season of Heartland Docs on National Geographic, please help me welcome Dr. Ben and Aaron Schrader to deliver the commencement address.
Raise that baby up.
Here, I'm going to let you do it so I don't drop it. This is not what 20 years of veterinary medicine does to you, by the way, just so you know.
That darn basketball.
That darn basketball. Well, good afternoon. We are extremely happy to be here today. Standing on this stage and being here in Manhattan with you all means so much to us. It is really a homecoming, as we've always loved our time at Kansas State and our vet school family. So, to the graduating class of 2024, thank you for inviting us. And you did it! You are here. Woo! That dream that you've been dreaming about for so long is finally real. So congratulations. And everybody with me, take a deep breath. Feels good, right?
Making the 5-hour drive south to Manhattan from our home in northeast Nebraska got us reminiscing and thinking about our best vet school stories. Of all of our combined memories, regrettably, there are only 2 that we can share on this dignified of a day. Thanks a lot to Aggieville. Actually, we did. Aaron and I met, we got married, and we had our first son, Charlie. Charlie, please raise your hand. While here at Kansas State. So those will always be our fondest of memories. But my favorite K-State animal story is about a lab named Woody. He came to Kansas State while I was on soft tissue surgery rotation on a Saturday night emergency. After inconclusive radiographs brought a gasping Woody to surgery for a suspected diaphragmatic hernia, we ended up losing Woody on the table for about 2 minutes. His heart quit beating. We were losing hope, we were giving him life-saving meds and CPR. Finally, the flat line on the heart monitor began to show us some activity. Our amazing anesthesia team got his heart beating again, and after a sigh of relief, we all got back to work. After discovering that indeed his diaphragm was intact, we decided that he needed chest tubes for a terrible mediastinal infection, only to seemingly lose Woody once again. Yes, Woody's heart quit beating for a second time. Woody's heart was again jump-started after another agonizing couple of minutes of working and waiting, and then he was placed on a ventilator for the ICU. He slowly but steadily made positive strides, but it wasn't until the third day when Woody was able to breathe normally again, and he moved from a critical to a stable status. Our team of students, technicians, and doctors never gave up. 2 weeks after he was brought in, Woody finally went home to his loving family. This experience for me and that miracle Labrador Retriever taught me that in practice, you never ever give up. Animals need us as their veterinarian to be there for them, even when things seem impossible. You know what else that dog taught me? That labs are tough as nails.
Well, honey, that was beautiful, and I do remember you working on Woody. But I think my favorite animal story was when I was on equine rotation and ended up saving, AKA bringing home, a really crooked-legged thoroughbred from certain euthanasia. You know what, or maybe it was when we adopted Bree, the blood donor greyhound, before we got married. She was still the best dog we've ever had. You know what, maybe it was when we adopted Flea and Husker, our flea study cats. They wouldn't venture off the linoleum for about 2 months, you remember that? And when they finally figured out carpet, they had the fastest zoomies ever. Those were some awesome kitties.
Okay, Aaron, I see where this is going. And I can see you haven't changed very much. You still drag lots of animals home from the clinic, and that is one of the reasons that I love you so much.
Thanks.
But for everyone listening here today, we are not adopting anything. And since we are still reminiscing, we received some great advice that our amazing K-State vet med professors taught us that helped us along the way. Aaron and I still think back to these great tidbits of information on a daily basis. Our beloved equine surgeon, Dr. Lilick, taught us, always leave yourself a trap door on any diagnosis, just in case. This bit of advice has saved us many times in our careers. In anesthesia, Dr. Hodgson scared us into making 100% sure that the pop-off valve was always open. In parasitology, Dr. Dresden really was right, that fleas are everywhere. And Dr. Carpenter taught us in exotics that every animal could benefit from sub-Q fluids, ivermectin, and enrofloxacin.
Dr. Rush, you always had the best lecture presentations for equine medicine. And if you were paying attention and interacted with her, she fed you treats and threw you snacks. This method of hers also works great with clients and patients in the exam room.
And it also works well with husbands and kids.
From dermatology, Dr. Baglotti Swanson holds a special place in our hearts. Not only did she hold my hand while I was in labor with our oldest son, Charlie, but she taught me the value of doing cytologies on everything. Dr. Harkin in small animal medicine taught us that some animals are just metronidazole deficient, and that is especially true after a 4th of July weekend. Wink, wink. Dr. Davis has always been one of the smartest equine veterinarians that we know, and we still use her skills as a phone-a-friend on those complicated horse cases. Thank you for that. And of course, we learned from all of our surgery instructors that nothing cures like
cold, hard steel.
But now that we've been in practice for 20 and 22 years respectively, we thought we'd help you speed up your learning curve and share with you some practice pearls that we've learned over the years. Unfortunately, most often the hard way. Number 1, don't draw blood or needle stick a mule unless you absolutely have to. Those suckers can kick you with all 4 feet and never twitch an ear. If you're going to be in private practice, just so you know, cats will definitely cost you more in workman's compensation than cows ever will. Also, keep in mind that the fancier the client's cell phone or horse trailer, the harder it is to collect the bill. That's true.
That is true.
The phrase, do whatever you need to do to save her, doc, definitely means drastically different things to different people, so make sure and print the estimate and get a signature before you start working. Also remember that a wagging tail on the Huska-Cava-Shitza Labradoodle-Poo doesn't mean it won't bite you. It's just super confused on what breed it is.
Okay, well, I definitely have some more to add to this list, so here we go. If you're like me, a few of you grads can't wait to start driving a vet truck. But just remember, driving that vet truck makes you a beacon for free advice. Also, wearing your scrubs into the grocery store after work will do the same thing. Be prepared for anal sac expressions and ear cleanings during every family gathering.
That's super true.
Some of you are going to work on baby calves with scours. Cryptosporidium, though, is not a recommended diet plan, but it does work.
You lost like 15 pounds, Ben.
Speaking of feces, run the fecal on the puppy before you let it kiss your face. You will now have 2 sets of clothing, your work clothes and those clothes that just haven't made it to the clinic yet. And if you're going to go into rural practice, if you're the vet in the area that says yes to one 4-H chicken, you are definitely saying yes to all the 4-H chickens. And that goes for goats, too.
Oh, wait, my turn again. I got a couple more. Our advice, get a 4-door vet truck for more date nights and family time. You won't ever regret this one. I mean, I get to spend every day and emergency with my best friend.
That's how we ended up with our second child.
Shut up. The most important tidbit I probably have is to treat your technicians well. They are the key to your happiness. On that note, yeah, that deserves a round of applause.
It does.
Yes. But on that note, make sure that every day you say thank you to your receptionist, because they have to deal with all the silly humans, and that may be the hardest job of all. You need to remember that a toenail trim on a pug should definitely cost more than a 150-pound in-heat dog spay and may take just as long. That also goes for corgis. And if your clinic ends up being the third opinion, make sure that you check and that the first 2 opinions aren't owed money. Lastly on my list is that if you are a parent, be prepared to get a call from your child's school that they brought in calf or dog testicles for show and tell. Also be prepared for the call that your kid has wrangled the stray cat in the parking lot and has brought it into the lunchroom. And thank you for both of those experiences, Charlie. See, this profession is amazing, but it can be very humbling.
All right, I've got just a few more before these diplomas are handed out, so this one might be the most important of all. The best piece of equipment in your clinic is not going to be the blood machine. It's not going to be X-ray. It's definitely going to be a working coffee pot or Keurig. Anal sacs will express in your hair, on your face, in your beard, especially when you're running late for something immediately after work. There's no place in your office that can contain the auditory delights from other waiting clients of a pot-bellied pig tusk and toenail trim. Trust us on this. This is one of my favorites. Don't count on your GPS if you're working cattle in the far pasture. But on the plus side, there's no cell service there. And finally, yes, you all will soon be able to unblock a cat while talking on the phone to a client about spring cattle vaccinations.
No, I'm not sure you could still do that.
Vet medicine does teach you how to multitask.
So, to wrap this up, we would like you graduates to look to your left and look to your right, in front of and behind you. These are your new colleagues. I get teary. I'm going to apologize now.
Here, speak into that.
Now look out there. Your parents, siblings, grandparents, spouses, friends, children. These people want nothing more than for you to succeed. Now look at all of the wonderful staff of veterinarians at KSU Vet Med who has taught you and mentored you.
All of these people we just mentioned are your support system. Lean on them for help if you need it, and know that you are not alone in this new adventure. Just know, all of you guys, that this is the best profession in the world. Again, many congratulations to you. Now glove up and get in there, class of 2024.
Thank you, Ben and Aaron. That was wonderful. President Linton, will you please join me at the podium? Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, please stand. President Linton, these candidates for the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine have successfully completed the required curriculum to receive their degrees from Kansas State University. On behalf of the faculty of the College of Veterinary Medicine, I proudly present them to you for conferral of their Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degrees.
Well, good afternoon. Dr. Rush, I see a lot of very smiling faces out there, and so deserved. You have been waiting to hear what I'm going to say for a long, long time and have worked very, very hard for this. By the authority of the people of Kansas and the Kansas Board of Regents, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I am very pleased to confer upon you the respective degrees that you have earned at Kansas State University. Please join me in congratulating all of the graduates, our newest veterinarians. Let's celebrate them. You may now be seated.
It's time to pass out the hardware. President Linton, Interim Provost Mercer, Associate Dean Roush, and faculty and all mentor participants, please take your places in the hooding ceremony. I'm just going to divert 1 minute here and say that Dr. Parks asked a really important question this morning. He said, how many of you were influenced by a veterinarian who believed in you and convinced you to be a veterinarian? Would you please stand if you had a veterinarian that believed in you and convinced you to be a veterinarian? Thank you. And so a few years ago, Dr. Roush and I and others decided that it might be nice if those mentors could be here and hood them. The longstanding tradition was you could only be hooded by a faculty member or a family member who was a veterinarian, but mentors are now allowed to hood the class of 2024, and we're really excited about that because they deserve that. They deserve that opportunity to put the hood on the person that they brought to this college. After Dr. Roush announces the name of each recipient, each one will be hooded. Candidates will accept their diplomas, have their pictures taken with President Linton and Provost Mercer, and then return to your seat. Will the participants in the hooding ceremony please take your places? Dr. Roush, please announce the names.
Dr. Tate Leone Ackerman. Hooded by Dr. Melissa Upchurch. Dr. Kyla Adams. Dr. Mariah Ann Arts, hooded by Dr. Michael Stenstrom. Dr. Lindsay Ann Alexander. Dr. Hannah Marie Barber, hooded by Dr. James Carpenter. Dr. Deidre Kim Bean, hooded by Dr. John Lyons. Dr. Dawson Leonard Black, cum laude, hooded by Dr. Katya Spitznagel. Dr. Bristol L. Bluma. Dr. Courtney Babcock Borden, hooded by Dr. Emily Reppert. Dr. Eva Lynette Borgman, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. Jose Estrada. Dr. Tegan Will Bowers. Dr. Elizabeth Marie Brand, hooded by Dr. April Inman. Dr. Anne Mary Catherine Breen, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. Melissa Byer. Dr. Elizabeth Rosani Berg, hooded by Dr. Ken Harkin. Dr. Grace Callow, magna cum laude, hooded by Dr. Stephanie Durbin. Dr. Nicole Elaine Cussell, hooded by Dr. Jessica Zito. Dr. Ulena Taylor Comstock, hooded by Dr. Kyle Taylor. Dr. Katie M. Condon. Dr. Riley Miles Cox. Dr. Adlin Main Crockett. Dr. Diana Brooke Renee Kroll, hooded by Dr. Susan Nelson. Dr. Justina Elizabeth Davis, hooded by Dr. Catherine Miller. Dr. Courtney Denise Denbow, hooded by Dr. Katya Spitznagel. Dr. Jessica Marie Dio, hooded by Dr. Jeff Eder. Dr. Melissa Marie Dorner, hooded by Dr. Michelle Gonzalez. Dr. Jameson Land Earlywine, hooded by Dr. James Carpenter. Dr. Alexis Kathleen Fenton. Dr. Caitlin Lorene Fox, hooded by Dr. Chris Blevins. Dr. Bailey Renee Fritz, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. Dylan Luter. Dr. Angela Marie Gaggiano, summa cum laude. Dr. Erin Elizabeth Gates. Dr. Haley Geiger. Dr. Miranda Lee Gibbon. Dr. Abigail Jo Gibbons. Dr. Nicole Danella Graham, hooded by Dr. Michael Joartes. Dr. Umaya Jane Gray, hooded by Dr. Rachel Uehara. Dr. Jamie Lee Gray, hooded by Dr. Elizabeth Davis. Dr. Samantha Christian Gray. Dr. Catherine Janelle Grint, hooded by Dr. Randy Grint. Dr. Jensen Gooch, hooded by Dr. Michelle Gonzalez. Dr. Madeline Grace Hall. Dr. Natalia Hank, hooded by Dr. Kyle Abbott. Dr. Valerie Christine Haskett, magna cum laude, hooded by Dr. John Boyington. Dr. Emma Jane Hawkins, magna cum laude. Dr. Lily Heinen, hooded, magna cum laude, hooded by Dr. Ernst Heinen and Dr. Kirsten Heinen. Dr. Melissa Ray Hill, hooded by Dr. Leslie Weaver. Dr. Caitlin Michelle Hoke, hooded by Dr. T.G. Nagaraja. Dr. Cheyenne Nicole Hogsett, cum laude. Dr. Charles N. Hollis, hooded by Dr. Oscar Chavez Zamora. Dr. Sarah Ann Holloman, hooded by Dr. Katie Delf Miller. Dr. Corey Lynn Huff, hooded by Dr. Kelly Miller. Dr. Hannah Faye Huber, magna cum laude, hooded by Dr. Trent Schrader. Dr. Katie Sue Jackson, hooded by Dr. Levi Jackson. Dr. Nathan W. Jackson, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. Nikki Castles. Dr. Alexandra Helen Johns, magna cum laude. Dr. Jessie Sue Johannes, hooded by Dr. Ralph Swords. Dr. Joseph Donald Kempkin, summa cum laude. Dr. Abigail Kaiser. Dr. Hallie Olivia Clefcorn. Dr. Rachel Lynn Rose Keel. Dr. Loretta Ann Lacey, hooded by Dr. Molly Murphy. Dr. Nikita Ethenthru Lakani, hooded by Dr. James Carpenter. Dr. Gabrielle Justice Lamons, hooded by Dr. Cody Dressler. Dr. Abigail Grace Larson. Dr. Samantha Lorraine Leach, hooded by Dr. Dane Schwartz. Dr. Yuri Lee, hooded by Dr. Brad Crowder. Dr. Taylor Renee Lyle, cum laude, hooded by Dr. Pierre Picavet. Dr. Shangyu Lin. Dr. Shannon Lloyd, hooded by Dr. Trent Schrader. Dr. Michaela Colleen Long, hooded by Dr. Kristen Hill Themish. Dr. Christina Beatriz Marquez Fernandez, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. Heather Toll Millard. Dr. Zara Martinez, hooded by Dr. Katya Spitznagel. Dr. Kinsley Taylor McComas, hooded by Dr. Reed Harrison. Dr. Walter Ernst Myers, hooded by Dr. Catherine Barish. Dr. Jonathan Alejandro Mondragon. Dr. Alicia May Marie Morris. Dr. Michaela Sue Musselman. Dr. Kendall Brooke Neal, hooded by Dr. Dan Thompson. Dr. Darcy Lynn Nightingale, hooded by Dr. Jeff Nightingale and Dr. Marley Nightingale. Dr. Shannon Catherine O'Day, hooded by Dr. Ann Jablinski. Dr. Megan Patricia O'Toole, hooded by Dr. Thomas Schermerhorn. Dr. Nina Ishe Peranspe, hooded by Dr. Stephanie Durbin. Dr. Jenwin Pung, cum laude, hooded by Dr. Sheiko Azuma. Dr. Grant Leon Pemple. Dr. Abigail Horswell Preston, hooded by Dr. Ann Jablinski. Dr. Jade Alexis Reese, hooded by Dr. Patricia Caffrey. Dr. Alex Andrea Rivas, hooded by Dr. Michelle Gonzalez. Dr. Nicole Denise Robin. Dr. Laura Ann Sajazi, hooded by Dr. Danelle Kukuzela. Dr. Kenneth Tristan Benulos Santiago, hooded by Dr. Trent Schrader, Dr. Catherine Barish. Dr. Conrad Scott Shelkoff, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. Brian Lubers. Dr. Paige Hildegard Schmidt, hooded by Dr. Brad White. Outstanding vocalist, Dr. Pulak Shah, hooded by Dr. Carolyn Rost. Dr. Allison Ann Skubel, hooded by Dr. Chris Blevins. Dr. Marika Renee Smith, hooded by Dr. Michael Sanderson. Dr. Alyssa Jane Sorum. Dr. Catherine Rose Stenger, cum laude, hooded by Dr. Ashley Fisher. Dr. Morgan Deanne Strader. Dr. Lydia Claire Taylor, hooded by Dr. Claire Godwin. Dr. Madison Taylor Terwilliger, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. William Bro. Dr. Dorothy Angela Thompson, cum laude, hooded by Dr. John Whitaker. Dr. Sarah Ann Timmerman, hooded by Dr. Ken Harkin. Dr. Amanda Talasel. Dr. Trey Douglas Tomlinson, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. Camelia Miller. Dr. Kathleen Ann Trinkle. Dr. Eliza Kate Turnage. Dr. Haley L. Wagner, summa cum laude, hooded by Dr. Nikki Castle. Dr. Laura Walsh, cum laude. Dr. William Tyrus Wing. Dr. Hannah R. Westermeyer, cum laude, hooded by Dr. Katya Spitznagel and Dr. Emma Prey. Dr. Allison Marie Wheeler, hooded by Dr. Andrea Sand. Dr. Carly Joy Williams, hooded by Dr. Chris Blevins. Dr. Taylor Christine Williams. Dr. Grace Lillig Wilson, magna cum laude. Dr. Holly Ann Wilson, hooded by Dr. Elizabeth Davis. Dr. Richard Earl Wood. We almost made it, Dr. Mosier. Dr. Margot Bar-Witata, hooded by Dr. Alan Mueller. Graduating posthumously, Dr. Tristan Charles John Roy. Tristan passed unexpectedly on October 25th, 2020, during the first term at Kansas State. Dr. Roy's diplomas and hoods are presented to his mother, Maureen Leonard, and his father, David Roy. I'm pleased to share now that Tristan's family established a memorial scholarship fund in Tristan's honor. The Tristan Royal Memorial Fund is awarded to a student for demonstrated excellence in the care of exotic animals and someone who plans to specialize in their care. The recipient, the inaugural recipient, is Dr. Shannon Lloyd. Dr. Lloyd, would you please come forward to accept the scholarship? You're up.
How about that? The next most important thing you're going to do is recite the DVM oath. At this time, Dr. Tim Parks, Alumni Board past president and member of the class of 1994, will lead our newest veterinarians in the veterinary oath. The oath is a reminder of the commitment each has made to serve society through the veterinary profession. I invite any veterinarians in the audience to stand and join these new veterinarians in reciting the veterinary oath. Dr. Parks?
Thank you, Dean Rush. 30 years ago, I was sitting out there where you guys are, full of excitement and fear and nerves. It was Friday the 13th. What could possibly go wrong, right? So a lot of things have changed in those 30 years. Cell phones, personal computers, digital radiography, that would have saved me a lot of time. The internet, Dr. Google, if you haven't met them, first week in clinics you will. You'll become familiar. One thing hadn't changed. The thing that hadn't changed is the oath that every one of us takes on this day as we start into this new journey. So With that, I'd like to ask all the newest doctors of veterinary medicine and any other doctor of veterinary medicine in the room, please stand and recite the veterinarian's oath. Class of 2024, will you please raise your right hand? Repeat after me. Being admitted to the profession of veterinary medicine, I solemnly swear to use my scientific knowledge and skills for the benefit of society through the protection of animal health and welfare, the prevention and relief of animal suffering, the conservation of animal resources, the promotion of public health, and the advancement of medical knowledge. I will practice my profession conscientiously, with dignity, and in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics. I accept as a lifelong obligation the continual improvement of my professional knowledge and competence. Congratulations.
To bring greetings from the class of 2024, I am pleased to call upon Dr. Melissa Hill, class president, class of 2024.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, proud parents, and most importantly, new doctors. Today is one of the most important days of our lives, the day we stop paying tuition. But really, it's the end of our formal education and the start to a lifetime of learning. Despite the borderline toxic levels of caffeine, the late night studying, and the never-ending lists of 145s, we made it. The last 4 years have been anything but ordinary. We started out by simply meeting each other via Zoom, and now we sit here, a group of young doctors forever connected by our experience here. Although the days were long, the years were short, and the memories are eternally cherished. We come from all different walks of life, and yet we found friendships that will last forever as we each embark on a unique new journey. As you go forward in your careers, I hope you get to do everything your wildest dreams can imagine, and you make a difference in every life that you touch. Embrace every new challenge that comes your way and do nothing less than your best. You've proven that you can handle whatever you may face, whether it's on the first day of your career or your last. For the last 4 years, we have been a fierce group of colleagues who have braved every challenge together. And now it's time for us to be fierce individuals, each with a reliable foundation of strength that we've built. I have no doubts that each of you will represent K-State with pride. And of course, we cannot go without saying thank you to our pets who have spent the last 4 years subject to random physical examinations, being models for bandages, or practice for diagnostics. They deserve a lifetime supply of treats. And thank you to our families who never once questioned our choice to go into a career that requires you to put your arm up the south end of a cow, at least not to our faces. And thank you to our professors who put on numerous review sessions, kept patient in the face of endless questions, and encouraged us, even after we fell asleep during your lecture. Each and every single one of you played a huge role in our success. It has been such an honor to represent such a fantastic group of people as your class president. I hope that you all get to enjoy a fulfilling, rewarding career in veterinary medicine. You've sure earned it. May your catheters be patent, your ligatures be tight, and your cows be bred. Congratulations, we did it!
Thank you, Dr. Hill. On behalf of the faculty and staff at the College of Veterinary Medicine, I extend congratulations to each member of the class of 2024, your family and your friends. Welcome to the greatest profession on the planet. We are proud of each of you. This is your day. Enjoy it to the fullest. One more round of applause. Let's get on our feet for the class of 2024. So it's a good thing that you're standing because the next line is, please stand for the recessional.